Let's go. Back in the book. Okay. Okay,
Sure.
big dog. Gotta keep that that sword sharp, huh?
Gotta know how to.
Alright, let's go. We're gonna start off camp by giving our praises to you.
Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakakadash.
This camp you got.
Yeah, it's who are the Jews? Right? It's a big controversy. I mean, like, as everybody may know, it's a big controversy going on of who the real Jews of the Bible is. You know, you got certain people saying that they the real Jews, and then you got us, we saying that we the real Jews. Why we saying that we the real Jews is because of the prophecies that is spoken about in Deuteronomy 28.
Yep.
And that fits a certain people, and that certain people is us. Once you read it and you put two and two together, right? This will happen to these type of people, and then once we analyze ourselves, we know that that happened to us. You know what I mean? So on and so forth, right? So that's the title. Who are the Jews?
Yep. Usually you will see, like in the Israelite community, it's almost like a spirit. It is the spirit. It's the Holy Spirit that goes around, whether it be different camps. And you will see topics that come up, and then you will say, okay, well, shit, I'm finna go out to camp. We finna eat off that topic too. You know what I mean? Just like the security guard, they came down last week. He talking about my God. You see what I'm saying? And that really goes to who the real Jews is, because we know the one and only Lord is the Lord of the Israelites. Even though he controls all things, but he's the Lord. He chose the Israelites out of all the people. So even with them saying, look, my God, and they believe that they're part of the church, it's really like a replacement theory. You know what I mean? Like they pretty much saying that it ain't about the Jews no more, the Israelites. Now anybody can be a part of it, and now they're a part of it. I seen I forgot what network it was on, but it was on TV, and they had a movie that's gonna come out. I think it's a show actually that's about to come out, and it's they had Jesus Christ in it, and of course he was like a half, and this is what they always say, and this is the bullshit, right? He was like a half Edomite, half Ishmael, kind of like a tannish Edomite with long hair and shit. And I was just looking at it, and I was like, man, how fucking dare he think that he could live up to be the Lord? You see what I'm saying? One of the things he said, he was like, I am the law of Moses and shit in there, and all,
Yeah,
all the.
I see. What's it called?
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, because I seen that same clip. I seen that same
clip.
clip that you're talking about. Yeah.
When that shit came on, I was just staring at the TV. I'm like,
I actually laughed when I seen it. No lie. Like when I seen that and he said that, I don't know what I was doing, but it made me chuckle a little bit, and I just got to thinking like, these people crazy.
I'm looking at this dude with this stringy, long, feminine body and hair and shit like that. I'm like, he think he could be the Lord? Like he should be put to death for even playing that part in the movie, man. Who the fuck do he think he is, man? Like, you know what I mean?
The
like,
producers,
man, this
made
shit
it
crazy, bro. They could have got any man to play that part, bro. Any man of like any race to play that part. They got that dude to play that part because they still pushing out that false image. And then it's the same thing because the man that was around him, the disciples in that clip, were Israelites. So they saying who? They saying the Jews and the Israelites look like that. You know what I mean? Which is just completely false. So this is back to the basics. So we just gonna hop straight into it. And this ain't gonna take that long.
This is Luke 21, verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Right, so they that is talking about is the Israelites. This is how we know who the Israelites is. It said they should be trodden down. It says they should be led away into captivity into every nation, all the way into the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. That's when the Lord comes back. So what does that mean? Luke 21, starting at verse 24, means that the Israelites will be in captivity until the Lord comes back. That's one of the reasons why the Lord is coming back. The Lord said he's coming back for vengeance for his people and redemption for his people to save them out of captivity. Right? I got another verse on that one. Right? Yeah, to save them out of captivity. So that's saying that, look, the Israelites will be trodden down, meaning they will be at the bottom of all societies, and they will be in captivity until the Lord comes back, the true Israelites. So the people that's running around calling themselves Israelites or calling themselves the small hats, they can't be the true Israelites because they don't fit that prophecy. They are not still trodden down under every nation. They have a whole land, which is our land, our homeland, which we're going to get into that too later on, that they could go to, that any one of them from around the country could go to, and they could get money, and they getting money sent to them by the U.S. government annually, billions of dollars. They got billions of dollars in weapons. They're protected. They got an army. Where's that prophecy at in the Bible that will happen? There's nowhere that it says that nowhere in the Bible that the Israelites will go to the land without the other tribes. Just Judah and Benjamin will go to the land, and then they will have weapons of mass destruction to protect themselves, and they would get on jets and planes to be transported to the land, and then the countries around the world would give them millions and hundreds of millions of dollars yearly. That's not a Bible prophecy. That's why we read Luke 21. It said they would be trodden down in captivity until the Lord comes back.
Yeah, and it says, trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled, which means that over there in the land, right, the people living over there in the land will remain over there in the land until the Lord comes back to save his people. So that's a prophecy, right? Because at the beginning of that verse, it said that we will be led away captive into all nations. So we won't be there in the land. So the people that's over there in the land can't be the Jews, because they will be over there until the Lord comes back and give us our, take us out of captivity and give us our land back.
The Gentiles will be over there. So it said that we will be led into captivity, as you've seen, especially with the Negroes, the true Judah, right? The true Jews, right? It says we will be led into captivity, and then that place, the Gentiles will take it over. So all those different nations over there that's fighting for that land, those are Gentiles. That's the prophecy. Gentiles, it says the land will be trodden down by the Gentiles. So there's Gentiles that's living over there. Other nations, the word Gentile means nation. There's other nations living in the land right now, but they're not Israelites, because the Israelites will be scattered throughout the whole world in captivity. Not just scattered because they like to say, well, we scattered, we live in different parts of the world. No, it says we will be scattered around the world in captivity, in slavery. Meaning we will be trodden down, we will be at the bottom. So when you come to America, it's not hard to point to who's at the bottom of society in America, in the ghettos. You first you're gonna say the black man. You're gonna say the Negroes, right? So we fit this prophecy. We could see that we were scattered because it was something called transatlantic slave trade. The transatlantic slave trade wasn't just from Africa to America. And that's where these Edomites go wrong, the ones that think they're scholars and say, you were selling your own people. It wasn't even just from Africa to America. It was from North America to South America to North America, America over to Europe. You see what I'm saying? Africa to America. It was all over.
Yeah, and then it was already going on before that. But the transatlantic slave trade is the start of the importation of the so-called blacks and Latinos, if I'm not mistaken, over into America. But it was already slaves, you know what I'm saying? Like, we was already in captivity. But they started bringing us over here, and that's that period of the transatlantic slave trade, if I'm not mistaken, 1619. That's that period. That's when we started coming over here.
Exactly. And then even our brothers, the Native Americans, Latinos, because scholars, they like to talk shit to us and say, well, you were selling your own people. We had some of our Israelites that were selling our own people. We had other nations, Hamitic nations that put us in captivity. You see that, you kind of see that in that movie, The Woman King. Check that movie out. I didn't like it at first because the whole woman shit, but then when I watched it, just like Black Panther, it actually had a whole different meaning on it, because they actually did have a man king that was the king throughout the whole movie, right? The Woman King shows you how those different African nations was over there putting each other in slavery and selling them to the European man. Now, the European man is still guilty. You can't say, well, you guys were selling, so we're not guilty. You're still guilty because you still took people and put them in slavery. You brought them to America, right, as slaves, and you put them in slavery while they were here. And you also was still selling people, too, through a transatlantic slave trade. So you took slaves, bring them to America, and then you would sell them and ship them to Europe or South America or different ports. So you were selling slaves too at the end of the day, so you're not innocent, bro. So, you know, they just bring up any excuse. And then when you put the Native Americans and Latinos in there, it's the same thing with them. You can say their own people were selling them, but you're still guilty too at the end of the day, man.
Yeah.
And our people are being punished for what we did, our part that we played. We're being punished. That's why I said you will be led into captivity. We're in captivity. That's our punishment. But our punishment, I got a precept. Our punishment going to be over, right? And you can't escape your punishment, right? So then you're going to be next. This is, I got a couple more verses on that. Okay. Yeah. This is Lamentations 4.
That's until they acknowledge their offense.
Oh, no, I ain't forget that. Okay, I'm gonna get that. This is Lamentations 4, verse 21. Rejoice and be glad. You talking about Hosea 5:15. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Oz. The cup also shall pass into thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt make thyself naked. Now watch this. For these scholars, that's always what you guys were selling yourselves. Well, the Native Americans was killing themselves, so it's okay for us to come and do what we do. No, it's not. We have our punishment. That's why we are led into captivity. Now it's about to be your turn, and that's what you don't want. Verse 22. The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished. O daughter of Zion, he would no more carry thee away into captivity. So the Israelites, it says your punishment of your iniquity for the iniquity that you did, selling your own brothers, right? Trading, traders, agents that we have amongst our own people. It says, look, the punishment of your iniquity is almost accomplished. Meaning it's almost over. It says, O daughter of Zion, he would no more carry thee away to captivity. He will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sin. So now the Lord said, look, I already punished my people for that. He's going to do Jacob's trouble, a big bang at the end, and then he's going to punish the nations for their part that they played. And the punishment for Esau is going to be worse than the punishment that Israel went through. It's going to be worse than any nation has ever went through. You got that, Hosea 5?
Yeah.
It should be Robert.
Yep, I got it. Hosea 5:15. I will go and return to my place until they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early. And that's what you see happening right now with the brothers out on the highways and byways. And it's been a great awakening right now. A great awakening of us coming into our true heritage, our true nationality of who we are, biblically speaking, right? We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks about. That's our heritage. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else got a heritage that they can go back to, a nation that they can go back to, but us. We are the Israelites. The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, we are the Israelites. We're not African American. That's two different continents.
You got that back in Luke.
Yep. Luke, this is Luke 21. This is verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring.
Right there.
We good on that one? Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me jump back to the next one. Revelation 2.
2:9 and 3:9. I get the next one.
This is Revelations 2, verse 9, and it says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
So who's in poverty? It's not hard. We know we in poverty. So all this stuff we read, we know that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we know that we fit this, right? But the so-called small hat man, he's not in poverty. Who you think runs or like in the highest positions of these companies? Guess who they are? YouTube, small hat, the people that's claiming to be the Israelites on the earth, different various news channels, small hats, Hollywood, filmmaking, small hats, some of your biggest record labels, right? Which is the way that that the so-called Negro man, but the Israelites, through wickedness, they've been able to have fortune and make money through the music industry because it's wicked. But who you think's running it and owns these companies? What did Kanye was come on and say? He came out and exposed them, man. Straight up exposed them of who's running everything, man. So that's not being in poverty, man. You see what I'm saying? So it says, I know thy poverty, but thou art rich. Why are we rich? Because we have this promise that was only given to the Israelites. The promise of the kingdom. It says, I know the blasphemy of them who call themselves Jews, but are not. So who on earth call themselves Jews? It's not hard to figure out. Just go to Google. Go to Google and do a search and type in Jews. And who pops up? That's the people that's on earth saying, look, we are the Jews. Who lives in the land and have control over the land? Those are the people saying, look, we are the Jews. And the Bible saying, look, the Lord said, because it's the Lord's word, said, look, I know the blasphemy of them who call themselves that. But they are not. But it says they are the synagogue of Satan. Because they're devils, because they deceive in the world as if they are us, and they're not. And then they lie and just say, well, those people, they ain't got no heritage, which is a prophecy that was going to happen to the Hebrew Israelites. They say, oh, they just black. They just a color. They just blacked out. They have no heritage. When they know damn well, oh, no, those are Israelites. Matter of fact, they coming out now different scholars of the small hat community is coming out now saying, yeah, the blacks, you know, there could have been Israelites that went into the transatlantic slave trade. So the African American man in America, African American man, they're saying, yeah, they're Israelites now. They just trying to put a spin to it and say that we're the lost tribes. No, we're Judah. The lost tribes is the Native Americans and Latinos. Prophecy. You got
next one. Yeah, this Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
Right. So the Lord said he know the blasphemy of them, but he said he gonna make them come worship before our feet. What do you see? What did I just mention? Right now, what do you see? You seeing them kind of start to do that worship. Now they come and say, okay, yeah, these are the blacks with that new movie, You People. Yeah. You see what I mean? The you had the small hat dude that was getting married to the so-called black woman, Lauren London. Now you starting to see them try to push and cater to the so-called black community because we are the true Hebrew Israelites.
And they know that.
And they know that. So
and
now,
they been knew that.
Yep. So now you finna start seeing the Lord make them come worship before our feet, man. But ultimately, the Lord gonna make them come bow down and say, yeah, you guys are, they're gonna admit, you guys are the Jews. We inherit lies from our father, and they gonna admit that we the people, and they gonna come try to cleave on to us because we gonna have the power. And we gonna have the kingdom. So what you think they gonna do? They gonna say, man, look, the gig is up, we lost, and we need to go cleave on to these people, and they gonna try to become converts, which that's really what they is converts. So you're gonna have a lot of small hat dudes that's gonna come and try to cleave on to us, man, and try to be converts. They gonna all be slaves if they're Edomites because we were their slaves, so they gonna be our slaves. But you're gonna have like rabbis and stuff that's gonna try to get in high positions as being slaves, kind of like house. Remember the whole house nigga shit? Yeah. For the black man, you gonna have them try to be like house slaves and shit, trying to be over the rest of the slaves, but still in slavery themselves, trying to get high positions. That's what you about to see, man. Because they gonna try to cleave on to us, man. I won't be surprised if they the first ones to come out and be like, nah, they're the Israelites. You know? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, you weird ass chill. I'm trying to make sure they ain't got ravens in them trying to attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna take off running.
Me too. I'm gonna say get the scratch bit up.
Okay, this is Ezekiel 36. I'm gonna get it from the top, so you get all the context you need, right? It says, also, thou son of man, prophesy to the mountains of Israel, and say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord. So we prophesying to the mountains of Israel mean what? The people of Israel. We're prophesying to our people saying, look, hear the word of the Lord, right? It says, thou say the Lord God, because the enemy has said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are in our possessions. If you know the small hats, the ones that's claiming to be the Jews, that's what they say a lot. They say, aha, that shit came from them, man. Yeah. So it's right here in the Bible. The Lord already put it in his Bible through his prophets. He already exposing them, man. But you got to be spiritual to be able to see this. It's not hard. Right? They say even the ancient places are in our possession. So the land of Israel, they found Noah's Ark, the mountain, that Moses was on, right? They got all that. They got all that stuff.
Was it Mount Sinai?
Yeah. They got all that in their possession, man. They said, aha. They said, look, we got everything. America, that the Native American Latinos, the real 10 lost tribes, they had in their possession. They got that in their possession now, man. What a coincidence they could come over here and get rich, super rich, to the point where they running industries. Matter of fact, shit, the biggest hospital over here really in the Midwest, really in St. Louis, is Barnes Jewish Hospital.
Yep.
You tell me who owns it.
How he look?
I can't name not one black man right now that own a hospital that big. Maybe some small clinic shit, yeah. But a hospital that gigantic, look up Barnes Jewish Hospital, St. Louis, Missouri. You gonna say
Jewish Hospital.
Barnes, yep, Jewish Hospital. You gonna say, damn, that motherfucker huge.
No, I you know, we be driving past that. We have drove past it a lot. I see it. It's like right there. I want to say is it off 55?
I'm not sure.
I want to say it's like right. I want to say it's on 55.
It's over there by Lawrenceburg.
Yeah, It's huge.
Huge.
It's huge.
That motherfucker bigger than hotels. It's bigger than the Hilton.
Yeah.
It's bigger than the Crown. It's huge.
It's probably like 20 stories.
Yeah.
Probably got 20 floors in that
And
joint.
it's so long. Like, it's so long to the point where you got to drive blocks. Like, from the beginning of it, you got to drive blocks before you get to the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Barnes Jewish Hospital, right? So we just, telling the truth, right? So I'm going to read it back because we got some ears. It says, also, son of man, this is Ezekiel 36, verse 1. Also, son of man, prophesy to the mountains of Israel, say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord. Now, watch this. It says, thus say the Lord God, because the enemy has said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are in our possession. So the enemies of the Israelites said, look, we have all the ancient places we have in our possession. So the people in the land claiming to be the Israelites, the Bible is telling us they're not the true Israelites. Those are Gentiles. Those are other nations that have the land in their possession now. They have the world in their possession. You got to remember, the wicked is ruling this world right now. That's why the Lord has to come back, because the wicked is in rulership. So if the wicked is in rulership, of course they got possession of the land and anything else, man. That's a part of them being in rulership. How is the wicked going to be in rulership, but the Israelites still got possession of the land, of our holy land? But the wicked, this their kingdom and they're in rulership. But the Israelites, we still got possession of our land.
Yeah.
That don't make no sense, man.
And that's what a lot of people don't realize is that land, it's a holy land, and we was taken away from it because we was being unholy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what God calls us. He said we are a holy people, right? And what makes us holy is the laws that he gave us. But we was over there in the holy land being unholy, not following the laws. You know what I'm saying? You can't mix clean and unclean, right? So he had to take us out until we learn what we supposed to be doing, and then he gonna, right? Which is when he returned, and then we gonna be put back in the holy land, and we gonna be living righteous continuously.
And then after 70 AD, when the Romans came in there and took the land, there's no prophecy that says, except for until the kingdom, until the Lord comes back, that says the Israelites will go back over there, take the land, and then on top of all the other shit, give all the nations pretty much cater to us and send us weapons, and send the strongest nation on earth will cater to us and send us weapons of a Iron Dome. You see what I'm saying? Send us billions of dollars in aid yearly. That's not in the Bible prophecy. We read to you.
Yeah, it just said in Revelations 2:9 that we are in poverty.
Yep.
Right? And it also said in the Bible that he'll put us in this situation and no man will come save thee. No man shall buy thee. Right? So ain't nobody looking to help us in no type of way. That's why the Lord got to come back and do it.
Exactly. Now, let's keep going. Because it said they got the ancient high places in their possession. When did that change and the Israelites took back the land? That ain't changed yet until the Lord come back, and we finna show you. It says, therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord God, because they have made you desolate and swallow you up on every side. This talking about the land. That they might be a possession into the residue of the heathen, right? That ye, so the land, and ye are taken, in the Israelites too, and ye are taken up in the lips of the talkers, and are in infamy of the people. Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord God. Thus saith the Lord God to the mountains, and to the hills, and to the rivers, and to the valleys, and to the desolate wastes, and to the cities that are forsaken, which become a prey and derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. So you got who? You got the Ethiopians over there. You got Ishmael over there, and you got Edomites, Amalek, right? That's claiming to be the Israelites. That's trying to have claim and possession of. They do have possession of the land, right? This is what the Bible's talking about. Let's keep going. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord God, surely in the fire of my jealousy I have spoken against the residue of the heathen. Now the Lord is so cold with this, so masterpiece with this, he gonna tell you exactly who got possession of the land. Now he said the heathen, and in Luke 21:24 it said the Gentiles, same thing, right? Now watch this. And against all Adumium. So why is the Lord saying the enemy has possession of the land and mentioning Adumium, which is Greek for Edom? It's telling you Esau, the Edomites, have possession of the land. We gonna see into when. Which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart. So when you look at the land of Israel, who has the land of Israel with the joy of all their heart? To do and make whatever rules they want, They have sovereignty, right? And they have protection, an iron dome. Who has possession over that land with the joy of all their heart? The Bible saying that's whoever those people are. The Bible is saying those people are called Edomium, Edomites. Let's keep going, right? It says, with the spiteful mind to cast it out for a prey. Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel. Now watch this. And say unto the mountains, and to the hills, to the rivers, to the valleys, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I have spoken in the jealousy of my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. The Lord is saying, look, the heathen, he's jealous that the heathen are in the land, even though the Lord sets up everything, right? So some people may say, why are you all the way in Ezekiel? We on the New Testament, because this is a future prophecy that we're going to read. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord God. This right here cuts them, who the true Israelites are. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, I have lifted up my hand. Surely the heathen that are about you shall bear their shame. But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches and yield your fruit to my people Israel. See, this is talking about the land. This hasn't happened yet. Has the land yield forth its branches to the true people, the Israelites? That hasn't happened yet. That's going to happen when the Lord comes back, right? So it's saying, look, he's saying, look, when we get back in the land, that place ain't going to be a desert, desolate land. It's going to be a very green and fruitful and abundance land, right? It says, look how America used to be. Look how it is now. The Edomites got it. Yield your fruit to my people Israel. It said to my people Israel. It didn't say to my people Israel with believers of the Edomites, believers of the Ishmaelites, believers of the Moabites. It said the people of Israel. That's who salvation is for, not the other nations. Or it would mention them by name, right? Let's keep going. It says, for they are at hand to come. When are they at hand to come back to the land? The prophecy is that the Lord is going to come back, Deuteronomy 30. He's going to gather the scattered Israelites, the elect, and take them back to the land. That has not happened yet, so this is a future prophecy. For behold, I am for you, and I will turn unto you, and ye shall be tilled and sowed. And I will multiply man upon you, all the house of Israel, even all of it, and the city shall be inhabited, and the waste shall be built up. And then that goes to Isaiah 60 and 61. The heathen are going to have to build up our nation, but our land, because it's going to be wasted. But the Lord said he's going to multiply us on the land, man. The Israelites, right? So that's a future prophecy. It's telling you right there. That right there cuts any scholar, any theologian on if the people in the land are the true Israelites or not. Ezekiel 36 completely answers that question, that they are not. Because the Lord said all the house of Israel, not just Judah and Benjamin. He said all 12 tribes make up all the house of Israel. And then if you get even more understanding, you can go to the next chapter, Ezekiel 37, and it's going to tell you why the Lord is saying all the house of Israel. Because he said it was two sticks, southern kingdom, northern kingdom. He said he's going to make them one and put them in the kingdom. He's not going to take just Judah and Benjamin, then the other 10 lost tribes just going to be out there floating somewhere lost, and then he's going to get the land back to Judah and Benjamin. No, the prophecy is when the Israelites go back to the land, it's going to be all the tribes together as one. He's going to take them back to the land. And then the Lord is going to dwell there with them. The Israelites are not going back to the land without the Lord. The Lord is going to dwell there with them. So the people that's in the land claiming to be the Israelites, they cannot be. Even though there may be a couple brothers over there that are actually Israelites by blood, because we were scattered into every nation. But for the most part, the people that's running stuff,
they're not reaping all the benefits of the land, though.
Exactly.
They just over there. They just citizens over there.
Yep.
You know, so they still subject to those laws and all of that.
Yep. You got some Israelites that went over there and stuff like that and built communities and stuff like that. But the prophecy is that the whole house of Israel will go back to the land together, and the Lord's going to dwell there with them. That has not happened yet. So it tells you that somebody's lying. You want to get that next one?
Yeah, this is Daniel 9, verse 11. It says, yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is upon us, is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him.
It said all, and we're going to keep going. It says all the house of Israel. Right? Now watch this.
Verse 12. And he have confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem.
Right. Is that the end of that verse?
Yeah.
Right. So it says, under the whole heaven it has not been done a slavery worse than has been done to the Israelites. So due process of elimination. It's not
Yeah.
hard. Has there ever been any
wanna say
slavery?
something on that, too.
Yeah, I got you. Oh, my bad. We just cooking. Has there ever been any slavery on Earth that you could say, that you could point to and say it was worse than a transatlantic slave trade? If you do, you a fucking liar. You cannot.
But you know what they're gonna try to do, right? They're gonna try to bring up the Holocaust.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Is there any slavery on Earth, including that,
Right.
that's worse than the transatlantic slave trade? No.
No.
So in the Bible, it says that the Israelites would go under the worst slavery in Earth history, in humankind history on Earth. The Israelites would go under the worst slavery than any other nation, any other time period ever. And we know that the so-called Negroes went through, and the Native American Latinos, if you wrap it, especially if you put it all together.
Right.
If you put what the transatlantic slave trade was not just the Negroes, but if you put the Negroes in there and what happened to the natives, they pretty much got genocide and wiped out. And the Latinos, and you put us all together as the Israelites, there's no other slavery on Earth that can match up to that. It just told you who the Israelites are.
Right there.
You just got to open your mind up, man, because the Bible is written in riddles and parables.
Yeah.
You got to be spiritual to see it, and then it becomes plain upon the table. Okay, well, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, they went through the worst slavery on the earth. It's the Bible saying that the Israelites went through the worst slavery on the earth. They're the Israelites. That's them.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, that's what I wanted to touch on what the brother was saying. So when you try to compare, because that's what they try to do, but if I'm not mistaken, when you look up how many deaths that Hitler is responsible for the Holocaust, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 8 to maybe 10 million. What's up, brother? Like 8 to 10 million. And
Just say H.
yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. So like,
That's all I'll be talking about that subject.
right. But the Israelites, it's accounted for more than what? Couple
Man,
hundred million?
millions. It's uncountable because the Lord, you may not count it,
Right.
but the Lord still counts us being in slavery today because we're still under a people that took us in slavery.
Right.
So that means we're still in slavery. Our money that we use to buy our food and our clothes and our electricity or whatever has the face of the people that took us in slavery on it to this day. And they still have power and laws over us, man. So that means we're still in captivity, right? Now what they try to say is well, we was in slavery, in Egypt, and they try to say that was their people. We say it was our people. But look, I want to give you a news flash, right? Going back to Daniel 9, verse 11 and 12. Even the slavery in Egypt was still not worse than the transatlantic slave trade. So you could like superimpose your people and say, well, we were the Israelites in slavery in Egypt. We were the Israelites in slavery under the Babylonians, under the Persian and Medes, under the Greeks, under the Romans. You could try to say that was you, even though it wasn't. It was us. All those slavery still was not worse than the slavery of the transatlantic slave trade, where you had people that went on boats and died on ships from diseases, jumped over into the water. People that was killed that didn't make it to the shore, and then you had the people that made it to the shore, right, was put into slavery for 500 years, killed, raped, murdered, even going on still to this day. I'm talking about raped man and a woman, families split up. They used to put a horse on this side of you, a horse on that side of you, rip you apart, break your teeth off if you ain't want to eat, sell your family to a whole plantation in a whole nother state. And even when they did so-called say we was free, still hunting us down, lynching us. That's where the police force come from. So where the police force originate from, we still have that same force around to this day, man.
Exactly. So when you do the history on what influenced the creation of the police, and it was for runaway slaves.
Yep, slave catchers.
And when you do the history on why insurance was created for exactly what the brother was talking about, that you would have slaves being brought over here to America, but what was happening is they wasn't getting fed or nothing like that. So a lot of the times the slave masters would purchase slaves in advance, and they would purchase slaves in advance, but once the ship finally made it over there, they slave might have been dead, right? So yeah, so that's how insurance came about. So when you look at majority of like a lot of things that was created, and you do the history on it, it all ties back to some way, shape, form, or fashion of what happened to the Israelites, the slavery, and like that is a big influence on why a lot of stuff was created today. But now they just kind of try to put a wool over your eye to make it seem like it was created for another reason. But when you do the history of it, then you will realize, like, okay, yeah, it all makes sense.
Yep. I mean, and then, so if you a police officer, you in the wrong. It don't matter what your read. Well, I'm a black police officer. I want to police our community. We need black police officers. You're still in the wrong because you're a part of a criminal organization. Just because you say it's part of the law don't mean it's not a criminal organization. You're a part of a gang, a criminal gang organization. Whether if you a good cop or not, you being a part of it, you having a badge make you bad. Just like with a gang, with the RICO charge. If they come and you a part of this gang and you help further, what they say, if you help further this gang enterprise, you're a part of it. Yeah, a conspiracy. So you get caught up in the RICO and you get charged too. If you help this gang wash money, if you help this gang make money, when they come and do a RICO charge on you, they're taking all the gang members and they're going to take you, because if they can link you to being a part of this gang and helping this gang in any type of way, you're going to go to jail with the gang too, because that's a RICO charge, man. That's how it works. So same thing with the police organization. If the police came from slave catchers and the whole thing is a wicked and wrong and gang and criminal organization, even if you feel like you a good cop, if you become a part of that and you take a part of that badge, you're in the wrong and you're a part of their organization. Even if you do nothing but good, you're still helping this criminal organization to further itself by doing work for them, and you're on payroll for them.
Yep. And we got a precept to prove that, right? This is Isaiah 13 verse 15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. So for all of you Israelites, all of you brothers that's a part of the police force, that's a part of the army, the National Guard, all of that shit, in the day and time of the Lord return, and you still joined unto them, you're going to fall by the sword just like they is.
Yep.
Right, and that's what that means.
Yep, and then, facts. You're going to fall by the sword, so you say you want to help your people. You don't help your people by joining the gang. You help your people by coming out here teaching the word of the Lord and going against it, man. If anything, prophesying against it. You don't help your people by, I'm finna go join the gang, right? Just like a dude on the street that wants to join the GDs or the Crips, and he say, well, I want to help my people. You don't help your people by going and join the GDs and the Crips that's out here terrorizing your people. Right. At one point they wasn't, right? We understand the origins, right? But I'm just using the gang name, right? You don't help your people by going to join the gang that's pushing dope into the communities and killing people. That's not how you help your people. So it's the same thing with the police force. You don't help your people by going to join this police force that originates from slave catchers, an organization that was created to oppress our people. You don't go join that organization and say that you're going to help your people by joining an organization that was created to oppress our people. That's backwards. So you dudes are wrong, man. You Israelites that's a part of the police force and stuff like that. You ain't got to go join the police force to help your community. You can start a little group. Just like the GDs and the Crips were originally what they were started for, to help the community. You could do that. You ain't got to go fucking join the enemy, you know. Let's keep going.
Wait, that, you want to get the next one?
All right, I got it. That was it, man. Jeremiah 30 verse 7. So we proving to you, so all these verses we bringing up is proving to you that the people in the land are not the Israelites, and that somebody on the earth is the Israelites. And who is it pointing to? It's pointing to the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Jeremiah 30 verse 7. Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he should be saved out of it. It said Jacob, which name was changed to Israel. So it's saying that salvation is for the Israelites, not the rest of the world, man. Not the Moabites, not the Ishmaelites, not the Hamites. It says Jacob. The salvation is for the Israelites, right? It says and this is a future prophecy. So even though it's in the book of Jeremiah, it's still speaking about a prophecy that has yet to come, that's going to happen in the future. That's how the Bible works. It says, for it should come to pass in that day, the day of what? The end times, right? When the Lord comes. Say the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck. So the Lord is saying, look, we still got yokes in our neck, whether they be physical or spiritual. The Lord is saying we still in slavery to this day, right? And will burst thy bonds, and the strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. So the people that's in the land claiming to be the Israelites, how are the strangers and other nations on the earth serving themselves of the small hat man, the rabbis, the people that's calling themselves Israelites? You don't see that happen. You see them serving themselves of the world. You see them, they have banks, right? I think what's that, the National Bank, the International Bank, whatever it's called, the main central bank, the central banking, the leaders or the owners of that are people with the small hats that live in the land that call themselves the Israelites. So they're charging the world interest. They're serving themselves of the world by charging the world interest on loans in order to get loans and money from their banks. They're serving themselves of the world. Where do you see the world and the other nations around serving themselves of the so-called Jewish man? You don't see it. But you do see the world serving themselves of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Everything that's cool in the world comes from the Negroes, the Israelites. We make what's cool, but we don't benefit off it. We don't control nothing. We don't run nothing. That's why Kanye West was had his pennies in a bunch, because he could never get no control. He could make billions, he could make money, but he could never really be in full control, not of just his own LLC or his own company, but in control of an industry. I control the music industry. I control the entertainment. I control NBA. You got all these NBA players that make billions, that make all this money, yet they can't come together and put their money together and own their own NBA, their own league. Yeah. So they got to work for what you already know, the so-called Edomites, the so-called Caucasian man. They make all this money, and basketball wouldn't be what it was if it wasn't for them. Nobody would care about it, but they don't have control of it. They could get suspended. Look what Kyrie Irving did. He jumped out and he got whooped. He got butt break. So now you see Kyrie Irving, he just playing basketball now. He ain't talking no more. So that show you that these players, which the whole world is coming to see these players, not the owners. They don't give no fuck about the owners, but they under contracts. They contract slaves. They can't go make a new NBA and put their money together because they under slavery, under those contracts, man. And Kyrie Irving better get right. If he don't, then they could sit you off. Just for his opinion on something he posts, he was with the Nets. Yeah. The Nets. Did they suspend him?
Yeah. They suspended him for, I want to say, 5 games, and they made him write an apology letter to the so-called Jews. He had to pay like $50,000 fine.
And he did get paid for the 5 games.
Yep. Suspended without pay, and they made him write an apology letter and fined him.
And remember, he didn't say one word. He just posted something that existed, that anybody could post.
Because the commissioner of the NBA is an actual small hat.
It's a small hat. So that shows you who's running, who's serving themselves on people. Now, when you come to the Negroes, Latino, Native Americans, just like those examples, you can see the other nations benefiting off us. Shit, America was built off our backs. There you go.
Oh, and he had to pay that fine. He had to pay that fine to a so-called small hat, like some type of like charity or something crazy like that, if I'm not mistaken.
He have to get like reconditioned and had to get teached. He had to go to like seminars. That was something that was made. Under who? The small hats. They had
an anti-Semitic type of anger management class type. Crazy stuff like that. Yeah.
And then when you come to the hood, we see the Arabs setting up liquor stores on every corner. That's them taking the money out of our community. They don't spend that money back in our community. Yeah. They don't take that money out of our community and build a school for us, or build stores for us, or fix the streets, or the buildings for us. They leave those buildings fucking trodden down, and they take that money and they send it back home. They send it to their people. That's them serving themselves. The Asian people do the same thing. We see the same thing with them. They come with nail salons, a U-top, a hair store, and their whole store is dedicated towards what? They not advertising garments that they wear and samurai shit in their stores. They advertising shit to sell and products to sell to the black man. The black people, they advertising hair, long white tees, white Air Forces, fake jewelry, fake loop earrings. They don't wear that shit. We wear that shit. We got a Arab store at our mall. You go in his store. Now, remember, him and his people are Arab, and they speak that language and everything. They're Ishmaelites, right? They ain't got nothing for Arabs in the store. When you go in the store, you see nothing but, you could clearly see who's his demographic, his target customer.
His inventory, yeah. You can see all his inventory is targeted after a certain group of people.
African Americans, which is Native Americans, Latinos, they dress like us. We're the same.
Yeah, they serve themselves up. When you pull up to one of these Arab stores, you go in there, they try to play you out your money like you slow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They disrespect you. You know what I'm saying? Your women come in there, our women go in there, they try to sleep around with our women. You know what I'm saying? Dog our women out, but go back to their women and marry and treat their women like queens, but treat our women like sluts.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
They got ATM machines.
Got
there.
ATM, yeah.
Every time you draw some money out, they serving themselves. They getting that money. They getting a fee off of that, man. So you can't go in there and find out one thing that's targeted to the Arab man. You go in this store, he got jeans like these, he got the shoes, he got everything we like. So who's his target customer? It's us. He not thinking, oh, I'm finna open up an Arab store with Arab and garments and, you know, the little hand wraps for my people. They not thinking like that. They open up this store for, they say, look, we gonna make money off the black man, off the black people, because they like this stuff and we can get it for cheap and we're gonna bring it back and sell it to them and take their money. That's serving yourselves other people, man. And then especially when you're not turning around helping those same people in no type of way.
Disrespecting them. You get majority of your money come from these people. They come in, you treat them like shit.
Yep. Yeah. If you a black man, you a black man, you go to a Arab store, they don't like you. Already they finna treat you like shit. Or they gonna act fake and try to get with your lingo so they can sell you something. Hey, what's up, my brother? What's up? What's up, gang? Using your words just so they can sell to you. And really they mock you.
Exactly.
Cause you know they don't talk amongst each other like that. So really they fucking mock you. And then they gonna sell you something and they gonna have all these rules and shit like that. And then when you walk out, they gonna talk shit about you. They gonna talk shit about you in their language right in front of your face. You don't even know what they say.
Yeah, because I still do from time to time, but it's just one Arab store here in town, and I start coming in there, and they start like after so long, after I became a familiar face, they start calling me Hankush. And so I would ask them, I'm like, what Hankush mean? But they would say, oh, it just means brother, right? Now, later on I found out Ak mean brother, right? So they say, oh no, it just means brother, it just means brother. I'm like, okay, so I did some research on it and it means goofy. You know what I'm saying? So now, every time I go into the store, I greet them with Hankush. You know what I'm saying? Because now I know what they said, so I just say it back. Because they be like, hey, what's up, Hankush? I'm like, what up, Hankush? You know what I'm saying? And then I tell them, like, yeah, I found out what that means. You know what I'm saying? Likewise, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's just an example of them showing you how they lack of respect they have for the same people that they living so good off of.
Right? Because when you really talk about, you go over to Saudi Arabia, they able to build that big city, Dubai, and a lot of things they build, they having all that money because of their relationships with America. They getting rich off America. And we know America has the power and the riches it got because of the Israelites. So put it together. They are indirectly getting rich and building their whole city off the backs of the blacks, natives, and Latinos, because America wouldn't be done without the blacks, natives, and Latinos. They take from us, and these other nations and making deals with America and getting rich off America. That's the same thing as saying they getting rich off us, pretty much. And then they able to come over here. America let them come over here, and then that's when they set up these stores. I had a story when I used to go to an Arab store. They would never let me try on none of the clothes. I'm like, bro, I done came in. About 10 jeans from you now. I'm coming in here because this is the last one, and they a size a little bit too small, but they still might fit. I gotta see how they feel when I put them on. I'm like, man, can I take them? You know I didn't spend cash, which I done paid for everything. I never asked for no help. I paid your full price. Can I take these and just try them on and then come back and I'm gonna purchase them? I just want to see how they fit. Nope, you can't try them on. So you wanna know what I do? I stopped fucking on it. I never went there again. I'm not gonna spend my money there. And then when you have black stores, like so-called black stores, Israelite stores. Like this woman right over here across the street, she had a store, right? Look, I'm gonna show it to you if I can. If you see right over there on the corner, that was a convenience store. It was a so-called black woman, right?
You did a video on it, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it was.
Shall be thy store and thy pastor.
Yep, I did a video. Yep, facts, right? Now she shut down. Why do she shut down? Right, because the curses that's upon us, like the brothers just said. And then second off, these other nations, when you get a store or a business, they go into competition. They come together to go into competition against you so you can shut your doors. They don't, ain't nobody gonna say, oh, it's a black store open, let us go help them. We done made so much money off their people by putting stores in their hood. She got a convenience store down there, let us come down there and help her. Give her a loan or give her a grant. No, they working together to push you out the market, man. So you have to shut down like her. The only stores that we can open is clubs. And then when we open clubs, our people don't know how to act. They come in there and fight, and then the police come shut you down. So one of these nations gonna get you and shut you down.
But these other people that own clubs down here, people could get killed at them, all types of shit. They don't make them shut down.
Facts. Man, there's been bars that's been out here forever, never got shut down.
Yeah.
Especially if you go to the rich side, the west side. We can't have one open for 2 years straight because it's always gonna get shut down because how our people act. But we gotta take accountability for that ourselves. But you know, it's just a little, we can go all day about how this shit happens, you know?
Just trying to give you a little breakdown of what the scriptures mean.
Yep. And the only way you're gonna get rich is if you get into a wicked industry and you become their slave and they gonna have you push wickedness.
Yeah, you become their puppet.
So you could become a rapper in a wicked industry, you can get rich off rapping, as long as you're wicked. And wicked ain't just talking about killing. Because some people might say, well, Chance the Rapper, look what he rap about. But and Kanye West, he don't rap about killing. Yeah, but he rap about sinning against the Lord, adultery, other things, eating lobster. That's a sin. That's still wickedness.
Yeah. Facts. Yeah, this Psalms 149. Praise ye the Lord, sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise in the congregation of saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in his dance, in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp. Oh, Salaki, I thought that was it. Verse 4. For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people, and Salaki, for the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of God be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bend their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints, praise ye the Lord.
So it's going to be an honorable thing for us to get vengeance. Not them be saved with us, but us to get vengeance on these other nations, man. So we the ones that's teaching that, man. And like I said, like these dudes be walking around here, these dudes scary, man. Yeah, just come up and talk. If you wanna defend your belief on the Bible, or you wanna challenge us, just come up and talk. We be seeing all these dudes pussyfooting around here scared to come up and challenge us, man. Because we got the truth. You know what I'm saying? But they, like, you see that dude that came and just parked right there?
Yeah, he got out, looked up at us. He thought about it hard. He thought about it hard.
Yeah.
He looked dead at us for a little minute, then he turned his head. We not ducking no smoke.
No smoke.
My mom, we not so like sometimes I get to bringing out, you know what I'm saying, slang that I grew up with, but we ain't ducking no smoke. Yeah.
We standing right here, Bo. Anybody could come up to us. This ain't our property. Anybody could come right up here, talk, and we could get into the Bible. They could come up here and try to confound us and pull up. They could come up with their Bible and pull out precepts and say, what about this and what about that? We right here. That's how confident we is, man.
Yes, sir.
And we got to give all praises to the Lord because we know the Lord with us. So even if a person do try to come and confound us, the Lord he going to
put his words in our mouth.
Exactly. Yep. The truth going to come out regardless. And the truth gonna always win.
Yep. At that right time, right when you think you got us a got you moment, book up, something gonna pop up. You know what I'm saying? That we might have just studied yesterday.
Yep.
Right when you thought, aha, I got you. You can answer it, boom. And then that's the Spirit of the Lord. You feel me? To jump right up on us so we can answer that question how the Lord want us to. Or a statement, come back with a statement how the Lord want us to. And that's what we own.
Truth always gonna win. You know, so this being camp, who are the real Jews, you know. Hopefully through those precepts, what you take from that is that, okay, the people that's claiming to be it, they're not the real thing. And that, you know, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they fit a lot of prophecies that was said in the Bible that would happen to the Israelites. So with that, we're going to give our praises to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, Shalom.